So I just had the best weekend ever, and despite all the craziness and paranoia of last week, my weekend was really, really fun, really, really social, and incredibly normal. I went out dancing on Friday. I went hiking on Saturday and to the beach and had a game night with new friends. And then last night I actually went to a wedding, which was really, really fun. But, it just goes to show that despite all the madness with coronavirus, people are still being really social and having a really good time. Like, you think you're going to go out and the bars will be empty and no one will be around. Instead, everyone's still out dancing, laughing, drinking with friends, smiling. Not as much hugging going on. I kind of was joking with some friends. I saw them again and they'd go in for a hug and I'm like, whoa, we can dance next to each other, but let's not touch. But just such a great weekend. Honestly, one of the best weekends of my life. Learned how to play frisbee, was throwing the frisbee around. My first thought was, wow, we're literally going to be throwing around a germ disc. It's going to be like 30 of us passing this disc, sweating, running around in the sun. But it wasn't that big of a deal. I honestly completely forgot the coronavirus was a thing this weekend. I had so much fun. I think being outside helped just clear the mind, right? You're not in like a stuffy city or in the air con, being in the fresh air. No one I was around was coughing or sneezing, which leads me to believe that no one's sick. Again, who knows with this 5 to 10 day incubation period, but I had a great time. I guess the one place that I probably would catch coronavirus was at the wedding last night. People were digging into the food, digging into the cake. I tried to be careful. I actually felt bad. So there was this beautiful wedding cake. First off, let me back up. I met this girl last weekend at brunch, hit it off with her. She invited me and a few people to her wedding this weekend. I couldn't believe it was the nicest thing ever. I think she was, just, I don't know, was trying to look out for me, knowing that I'm new to the city. She's a fellow American, wanted to get me out and meet new people. So I really, really appreciate that. But just so funny because I cut into the wedding cake like in the back of the cake. Not the back, but the wedding cake came out. I got to the wedding cake. People were cutting and taking forks and just taking the cake onto their plate. And my first thought was like, oh my God, this is it. This is how we spread coronavirus. We're all going to eat out of the same, cake. Everyone's using their fork. So I actually went like the side of the cake and cut a fresh little square. Sorry, Nina. But I just, I don't know. I had fun dancing. I had fun. The wedding had a run. I had fun on the run. But when it came to food, I was a little skeeved out about everyone just, passing the utensil and digging into the cake. But other than that, coronavirus didn't come up in a lot of conversation this past weekend. Really, honestly, forgot about it. Like at the bar, people are making jokes about it. Everyone's talking really lightly about it. Someone coughs or someone sneezes and they're like, coronavirus. But like everyone's fine. I did learn that, I think, I was talking to some Americans, and I think maybe this is just where we grew up. I think Americans are taught a lot about germs in like health class, or maybe it's from, I'm from suburbia America. We're like taught to really wash our hands, right? Like wash your hands before you eat. Wash your hands. I don't know, when they're dirty. I don't know, but I noticed that. Some Americans noticed that we all just are really good about washing our hands. Like as soon as the government said washing your hands is going to save you from coronavirus, all the Americans are constantly washing their hands, versus everyone else is like, oh, like I'll take a spritz of hand sanitizer. So maybe it's just within my group of friends, but we noticed that. We thought it was kind of funny. That, like, for once, yes, Americans are on top of it. And then today at work, totally normal. Probably the most amount of people on the subway, the MRT, since I've been here. Hardly any masks. I mean, at this point, people are really pushing the, like, only wear masks if you're actually sick. I don't know if it's because people are running out of masks. I don't know if people are just feeling more comfortable because we're hearing about less cases. But here in Singapore, people are out and about today. I'm still avoiding door handles, but I am, getting better about, being more relaxed in public. And I think a lot of other people are too. It's becoming more and more evident. I mean, I took the subway home at rush hour and it was absolutely packed. So that kind of was like reverse culture shock for me, since my first week the subway was empty. And I'm like, oh, this is my new normal. And now I'm actually experiencing the normal. But it's good. I think it's a good sign to see people out. So hopefully things just continue to get better and it gets on the up and up, and fingers crossed. But so far, off to a good start to the week.